السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. I know it's kind of late, but I'm sure that most people are just now getting up anyway. So hopefully, inshallah ta'ala, those of you who are tuned in can benefit. So today, inshallah, we'll do another remembrance. More of a dua than it is a remembrance, but within every dua, there is a remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was, or one of his wives was asked, what is the dua that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam makes most of the time? Is there any dua that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would make more than any other time? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to say, Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinik. O Allah, changer of the hearts, make my heart firm on your religion. Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinik. O Allah, changer of the hearts, make my heart firm on your religion. Thabbit comes from the word thabit, to be firm, to be firmly rooted, grounded, steadfast on your religion. And one of the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in, they heard the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam make this dua, and they asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Ka'annaka takhafu alayna," is as if you fear something for us. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Kayfa la? How could I not fear for you? وَالْقُلُوبْ بَيْنَ أُسْبُعَيْنِ مِنْ أَصَابِعِ الرَّحْمَنِ يُقَلِّبُهَا كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ." When he said the hearts of the children of Adam are in between the two fingers of Ar-Rahman, are in between the two fingers of Ar-Rahman, يُقَلِّبُهَا كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ. He changes the heart how he sees fit. He changes the heart however he sees fit. As a matter of fact, one of the names for heart in Arabic, or the name of heart, there are a number of terms that are used for heart in Arabic. One of the main terms that is used for heart in Arabic is called qalb, which in the Arabic language, it means to turn. When you want to tell someone turn a page, you say iqlib. Iqlib is safha, change the page. Qallaba, yuqallibu, to change, to turn. And that is because the heart is a lot of times jolted by different emotions, by fear, by hope, by love, by hate. These are all emotions that kind of animate the heart. And it causes the human being to go in a particular direction. All right. And in this day and time, it's very important for us to maintain a solid, resolute, steadfastness on this path. As you can see, a lot of people, throughout, this quarantine, throughout this trial that we are experiencing, a lot of people are kind of losing their grip on Islam. And what is a telltale sign that you are losing your ground in the religion? One of the telltale signs that you are losing your ground in the religion is when you begin to see things that you used to consider haram, or you used to consider inappropriate, or things that you used to consider inappropriate, haram, something that you would never do, and now you find yourself doing it. That is how you know you are losing grip, you're losing ground on your religion. That is how you know that you are losing ground on your religion. As the Prophet ﷺ said, one of the scholars of the past, he said, to flip-flop in your religion, talawun fi dinillah, and ta'rif ma kunta tunkir wa tunkir ma kunta ta'rif, as the Prophet ﷺ gave an example of a diseased heart, a heart that is diseased spiritually. He said, and ta'rif ma kunta tunkir wa tunkir ma kunta ta'rif, is to acknowledge what you used to deem inappropriate, as now acknowledge it as appropriate, when before you used to consider it inappropriate, and to consider inappropriate what you used to consider appropriate. To do things now because of circumstances and situations that some time ago, months ago, a year ago. Look at some of the stuff that you see certain Muslims doing now that a year ago, 3 years ago, you probably would have never done. You would have never done. You would have never even thought about doing. Things that we used to consider haram, and then as time changes, as our spiritual state changes, we now all of a sudden see it as okay to do it. We now see it as okay to do it. And that is how you know that you are losing ground. You are losing, your root in the religion. Because now you make small little compromises here and there. And this is how Shaitan comes to you. He starts small. You make small compromises, make small changes, until eventually you just go all the way. Because you figure, well, I've already gone this far. I might as well go all the way, right? I've gone this far. I might as well just go all the way at this point, right? No sense in trying to, play both sides of the fence. No sense in trying to have 1 foot here, 1 foot there. You might as well just go all the way, right? And that's exactly how Shaitan wants you. That's exactly how he gets you. And that means that you have no stability, no steadfastness in your religion, in your religious practices. You know what I mean? And this is why it is dangerous for Muslims to get involved in politics that are not firmly grounded, rooted in their religious values and religious traditions, because you'll flip-flop. Look at any Muslim who has involved themselves in politics and look at the compromises that they've made. The Prophet ﷺ was a politician. He was a politician. He set rules. He advocated for things. He called on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God, the real authority, right, who sent down revelation, and he had to find a strategic way of giving that the reason why the posts are not showing up on Periscope, because I'm not doing them on Periscope. I don't know what's wrong with Periscope, so I'm not actually using Periscope anymore. I think it's compromised at this point. They have something that's called planned obsolescence. If you guys are not familiar with that term, I've explained that term before. Planned obsolescence. So they have like these apps and things like that they allow people to use for a particular period of time, and then that platform becomes obsolete after some time. And perhaps it's my phone, perhaps I don't know, but I'm no longer using Periscope. So if those who want to join, they can join. I'm on Instagram Live and I'm on Facebook. And so we can find another platform, inshallah, that will be more, encompassing, more available to everyone. But when you look at many of us, you'll find us making small compromises here and there. And don't take that lightly. Don't take those small compromises lightly. As I said, you look at any Muslim who has ever involved themselves in politics. They start off like, I'm for the religion, I'm for the Muslims. And then before you know it, they're now advocating for this and advocating for that. And you sitting here scratching your head like, how are you advocating for LGBT? How are you advocating for this? And then they'll find their way to justify it. And all along, Shaitan is just stringing you along. Because you are not paying attention to the small incremental compromises that you are making. And so we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub, oh Allah, the changer of the hearts, because Allah can change your heart. 1 minute you can be firmly grounded on your religion, and in the next moment, Allah can test you. Allah can remove His protection over you and let you fend for yourself. And this is why another dua that the Prophet ﷺ used to make was, Allahumma rahmataka arju fala takilni ila nafsi tarafat ayn. Oh Allah, your mercy is what I hope for. Your mercy is what I desire. فَلَا تَكِلْنِي إِلَى نَفْسِي طَرْفَةَ عَيْنٍ. So do not leave me to fend for myself, not even for the time that it takes for me to blink my eye. Don't leave me to myself, because I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself. Sometimes as a smart, as a smart believer, you don't put yourself in certain situations, not necessarily because you fear the situation, but you fear yourself in that situation. When you are alone with a woman, men, Muslim men, sometimes you put a lot of faith and trust in yourself. Muslim women, you do the same thing. You're on the phone alone with the person. You're on, social media alone with the person. And you say, I can handle this. I'm not going to go so far. I'm only going to go to this point or that point. You have so much faith in yourself. And then lo and behold, you find yourself over time engaging in behaviors and you trying to figure out, how in the hell did I get here? How did I get to this place? Because you overestimated yourself. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ asked Allah, don't leave me alone to myself, not even for the time that it takes to blink my eye. Don't even leave me alone for the amount of time that it takes for me to blink my eye. طرفة عين. فلا تكلني إلى نفسي طرفة عين. Do not leave me to myself, not even for the time that it takes for me to blink my eye, because I don't trust myself. If a brother asks you, hey, can I get your number? Can I get your DM? Let me talk to you. Tell him, no, it's not you I fear. It's me I fear. I'm afraid of being alone with you. I'm afraid of being alone with you. I'm afraid of myself. I don't know if I have that much self-control to be alone with you and to be alone on the phone with you or to be alone on social media with you and not engage in something that is haram. I don't trust myself. We have way too much trust in ourselves. And so the Prophet ﷺ, he taught us to say, فَلَا تَكِلْنِي إِلَى نَفْسِي طَرَفَةَ عَيْنٍ. Do not leave me alone to fend for myself, not even for the time that it takes for me to blink my eye. We have way too much trust in ourselves. We overestimate ourselves. And this is how we end up in situations that we regret later on, because we tell ourselves, nah, I'm just going to do this, or I'm just going to do that, or I'm not going to go too far. I'm going to just do this and I'm going to just do that. And then before you know it, you're engaging in an endeavor, in a behavior. And then you're like, how in the hell did I end up in this place? How in the world did I end up in this place? Some of us right now, you're probably listening right now saying, dag, everything he's saying is true. It's almost like he's talking to me. Like, stop putting so much trust in yourself. We have a plethora of weaknesses, man. Those that we know about and those that we don't really know about until we find ourselves in a situation, and then we're able to identify, that's now one of my weaknesses. I know that this is a weakness for me. I don't go around certain people. I don't put myself in certain places because I'm afraid of me. You understand? I'm afraid of me. Sometimes, especially for those of us who spent some time in the streets and now, you're trying to live, a law-abiding citizen lifestyle, right? And sometimes, you get into, at the supermarket, the grocery store, Walmart or somewhere, and you kind of, get into like small little things with people, and you just kind of walk away from the situation. And I'm not walking away for your sake. I'm walking away for my sake, because I know where I end up at the end of this. I know where this leads. I know me. I'm afraid of me. I'm afraid of what I'm going to do. I'm not afraid of you. You do not instill fear in me. I am afraid of what I'm going to do because I know me. So being alone with a woman, being alone with a man, being in, situations that are risque, you don't put yourself in those situations because you know you. And I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself. I'm not going to find myself in a room with a woman alone. I'm not going to find myself on the phone with this person or on social media alone with this person because I am afraid of me. You know what I mean? I'm afraid of me. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, muqallib al-qulub, the changer of the hearts, to make our heart firm on his religion. Because we are now seeing people that are losing a grip on their religion, engaging in behaviors and doing things that they would have never thought about doing before. And now for some reason, it's kind of okay to do it because of the circumstance or the situations, man. Like, when do you have any steadfastness in your religion? When do you become steadfast? When do you become resolute about what you believe? Why is it that you are so easily compromised by circumstances and situations that, on things that there should be no compromising in? Things that there should be absolutely no compromising. They went to the Prophet ﷺ and they said, if it's money you want, we'll make you the richest man in Arabia. If it's women you want, take a look at any woman in Mecca. Any woman you want, we'll give you any woman. Just stop what you're doing. You're separating families. You're upsetting the social order. And the Prophet ﷺ said, Wallahi, said to his uncle, Wallahi, if they were to put the sun in my right hand, the moon in my left hand, under the condition that I leave off my message of La ilaha illallah, I will not leave off my message until it reaches its pinnacle as God promised, or I die in pursuit of it. Those are your only two options. There is no third option. There is no compromising with this. This is something that I believe in. This is what I said I believe. For most of us who converted to Islam, this is something that you said you believe in. Nobody forced you to be Muslim. Nobody forced you. Nobody put a gun to your head and told you to become Muslim. This is something that you said you believe in. So why is it that we say we believe in something, but we don't follow through on it? And we're so easily compromised by the smallest little change in our lives. Automatically, the shift turns to our faith, our traditions, and we're so easily compromised with that. La wallahi, man. La wallahi. What was haram yesterday is haram today. And what's haram today will be haram tomorrow. Circumstance, situations don't make it okay. Don't make it halal. Now because you're in quarantine and you can't go outside, so now we can DM people and we can kind of start, relationships with people. There's so much haram that is going on now amongst Muslims who are at home, trapped at home. And this is why I said yesterday in the khutbah, I know that there are a lot of people that are home right now, single, and I know you're regretting it. I know you are regretting it. All of that, I don't need a man, all of the men, shenaniganizing with women, no real commitment to any one particular woman. You just here one moment, there one moment. You know what I mean? I know you're wishing that you had someone to share your life with. Home is lonely right now. Home is really lonely right now for a lot of people. Look at some of the behaviors that people are engaging in on social media right now. They're lonely. They're lonely. And those of us who are married, whether you're happily married or you just married, it don't even matter. At least you have somebody to share your life with. At least you have somebody to wake up every morning to. At least you have someone to go make breakfast for and sit down and eat breakfast with. You understand? So for all of you, I don't need no man and I got this. Yeah, I hope that works out for you, because the way that it's looking, we're going to be in quarantine for probably at least another 2 months. Things are looking real grim right now, and, you home alone and, you can say all you want. No, I'm good. I'm fine being alone. Nobody's fine being alone. The fact of the matter is that when Allah created Adam was here first by himself, and then Allah created his wife, knowing that man cannot survive without his counterpart. So don't miss me with all of that. I'm good. I'm home. I'm by myself. I'm good. Miss me with all of that. Everybody needs somebody. Don't tell me you okay alone. Don't tell me that you okay alone. I want you to understand. So after this situation is over, you start to understand and value the importance of relationships. Because we didn't value relationships prior to this. Because we had access. You know what I mean? We had access. We had access to so much. So we had options. So we didn't necessarily have to make a commitment to anything. And perhaps that's the same thing that's happening with our religion. We have options. We don't have to practice Islam. I can go and engage in what's haram, and I can find haram alternatives to what is halal. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ also supplicated. He said, Allahumma kfini bi halalika an haramik. Oh Allah, make your halal sufficient for me so I don't need the haram. And perhaps that is a dua that we need to make more often. Allahumma kfini bi halalik and haramik. Oh Allah, make the halal sufficient for me so I don't need the haram. Because we go after haram alternatives. We don't want to do what is halal, so we go after. Shaitan obviously makes us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, shaitan obviously makes what is haram, more appealing to us. He gives us haram alternatives. No, the khutbah is not on YouTube. Inshallah, I'll do it today. Inshallah, I'll do it today. But, I just want us to, just kind of take a look at that, man. Ground yourself in your religion, man. Ground yourself in your deen. I don't know how long this situation is going to last, nor does it matter at this point. The fact of the matter is that Allah gave us something, a connection to Him. That's a privilege. Everybody doesn't get a connection to God. He doesn't extend that to everybody. There are some Muslims home right now, grounded at home right now, and still don't pray 5 times a day. There are some Muslims right now, wallah al-azim, I kid you not, there are Muslims home right now, ain't going outside, ain't going nowhere, quarantined in their home and still don't pray 5 times a day. Don't tell me access to God is not a privilege. Access to God is a privilege that is not granted to everybody. It's not granted to everybody. There's some people at home right now that are making mental preparations not to fast during the month of Ramadan, which will be here in another 2.5, almost 3 weeks. There's still people right now that are making mental preparations, trying to figure out an excuse not to fast. And there's some Muslims that are not going to fast. There's some Muslims that are not going to fast. Even though we're home, you have a full home, you have a roof over your head, you got food in your refrigerator, you got, air-conditioned home, heated home, and you have all of the luxuries that life could offer you. And you're still not going to fast. You're grounded at home. What's your excuse now? Prior to being at home, our excuse was, I work. MashaAllah. So work stops you from praying. A commitment that you made to God. When you took your shahada, you said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. That was your commitment. Nobody forced you to do that. That was your commitment that you made to God. That was a commitment you made to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You said that I'm going to adhere to these 5 pillars after you took your shahada. You said that. And after you made that commitment, you didn't follow through on your promise. You haven't followed through on your promise. Even now, when there is no excuse, what's your excuse now for not praying 5 times a day? Before it was, I'm working. I don't have a lot of time. I get home at night and I'm tired and I can't make all of my prayers. You got every excuse in the book. What's your excuse now for not praying 5 times a day? What's your excuse now for not praying 5 times a day? You understand? Like, when you stand before Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, what excuse will you have? For a month now, we have been grounded at home. What's your excuse now? Wallah al-azim, all of our excuses will be flimsy. Ohan ka bayt al-ankabut. As Allah says in the Quran, flimsy as the house of a spider's web. Flimsy as the house of a spider web. You have no excuses. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throughout our lives has allowed us to put ourselves in situations where we end up at the end of our lives with absolutely no excuses whatsoever. No excuse. And as I mentioned in the khutbah, حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءَ أَحَدَهُمُ الْمَوْتِ قَالَ رَبِّ ارْجِعُونِ. Until you wait all the way up until death comes to you. And then when you finally get to the other side, it's like, oh God, send me back. I wish I could go back and do some more. I wish I could go back and do this, and I wish I could go back and do that, but that time has passed. As Allah says in Surah Al-Fajr, يَوْمَئِذِ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانِ فَأَنَّى لَهُ الذِّكْرَى. On the day when man will remember all of his shortcomings, فَأَنَّى لَهُ ذِكْرَى. But how will that remembrance benefit him now? يَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي قَدَّمْتُ لِحَيَاتِي. And he will say, I wish I had done more in my life. I wish I had done more. I wish I had done more. But that time, how will that benefit you now? Right now, you have an opportunity. Right now, you have an opportunity. Right now, at home, you have an opportunity to make up all the prayers that you've missed. Wallahi. If you're real serious. If you're serious about your relationship with Allah right now, you have every opportunity to make up the prayers that you've missed. Right now, you have every opportunity to make up the fasting that before the next Ramadan comes in. For those of you who have missed days from the last Ramadan, you have no excuse. What's your excuse? Today is Saturday. That's your excuse. You're sitting at home doing nothing. You have every opportunity right now. Allah is, if you realize what's happening, Allah is leaving us no excuse on the Day of Judgment. No excuse. No excuse. We got time to do TikTok. We got time to scroll through Instagram. We got time to sit down and watch a movie. We got time to sit down and scroll, binge watch on Netflix. We got time to do all of that. But we don't have time to make up the missed prayers. I was working a lot. Okay, you were working a lot and you missed a lot of prayers. Right now, you at home. This is a great opportunity for you to make up some of the prayers that you've missed. At least the ones that you can remember, because some of us have missed so many prayers, we can't even keep track. We can't even keep track of the amount of prayers that we've missed. You can't even keep track of the amount of prayers that you're missing, that we've missed so much. If you really want to prove to Allah how sincere you are and how committed you are to Him, despite your previous shortcomings, you can prove to Him now that you are at home and you have not much to do. You can prove to Him now how sincere you are by making up all of the stuff that you've missed. Some of us are not even working. We're sitting at home really doing not much of anything. Now is your time to prove to Allah how sincere and how committed you are to Him. That I know that when my life was normal, I missed a lot of prayers. I didn't fast. I didn't take certain things serious. But now that I'm at home and I don't have a job and I'm not really doing much, now I got the opportunity to do that. I want to prove to you, I want to show God how sincere and how committed I am right now. Here's your opportunity. How many of us have been asking for opportunity? How many of us have said, I can't wait till the weekend because I'm going to make up all my prayers on the weekend. And then the weekend come and you're out running around and you never make your prayers up. How many of us said, I'm going to take, a vacation, inshallah. I can't wait till I get my vacation so I can, settle down a little bit and get back on my deen. You said that. We've all said that. Now is your opportunity. Don't be like those who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says when they go out go out on the ocean, all right, and they travel out on the ocean and then they see the waves coming upon them. They call on Allah, da'wallaha mukhlisina lahu din. They call on Allah sincerely. Oh Allah, if you get me out of this situation, I'll never do it again. How many of us have said that? Oh Allah, if you make a way for me, I promise I'll do this and I won't do that. And here is, the answer to your supplication right here, right now. And now that you're in it, you're not taking advantage of it. You're not taking advantage of it. Then Allah says, and when we give them safety and we bring them back to land safely, they turn around and they thank somebody else, right? When you're on the ocean and you see the waves, you realize your weakness in the middle of the ocean, nothing protecting you except God, right? This little boat that you're in, nothing protecting you. You see the wave coming upon you. It's not, oh, Jesus, oh, whoever. It's calling on God. God, help me, right? But then when Allah brings you safely back to the land, it's like, thank you, Jesus. You turn around and you thank Jesus, right? Meanwhile, you were just calling on God. And that's many of us, even as Muslims. We're the same way. Oh Allah, if you do this for me, if you do that for me, if you get me out of this situation, and then Allah answers you. He answers you just to prove that your supplication was a complete lie. He responds to you not because He necessarily wants to get you out of the situation. He wants to prove to you that all of what you're saying is a lie. Allah says in the Quran, do people think that they can say they believe and they will not be tested? We have tested those who came before you, and we will surely test you to see who from amongst you are truthful in your claim, and for those of you who are just pure liars. Tests bring about who you really are. Tests bring out who you really are. Because before you're tested, you're just a theory. And that's many of us. I'm on this. I'm on a Salafi minhaj. I'm on a Salafi da'wah. And I'm on the Quran and the Sunnah. And I'm practicing this. And I'm Sufi. And I'm this. And I follow this imam. And we got so much So many proclamations, so many affirmations, so many proclamations about who you are and what you believe and what you're upon and what type of truth you're on. All of that is just a theory until it's tested. And that's most of us. We're just walking abstract theories. Just theory. You're just a theory. Because until that theory can be proven, right, it's just a word that comes out of your mouth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala time and time again tests us over and over and over to show us whether or not we're true in what we're saying or whether we're just faking the funk. So many words. But we turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Oh Allah, changer of the hearts, make my heart firm on your religion. Because I don't trust myself. I don't want to overestimate myself. I know that in the blinking of an eye and the change of a situation, the change of a circumstance, I could possibly change. I could change. So I'm not leaving that to myself. I'm putting that in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Memorize this dua, brothers and sisters. Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub. Oh Allah, changer of the hearts. Thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Make my heart firm on your religion. Make my heart firm. Give me steadfastness that no matter what circumstance, no matter what situation I'm put in, it does not cause my faith in you to waver. It does not cause my faith in you to waver. Not even an iota. My faith never wavers. Period. And there's some people whose faith is always wavering. Some people who will sell their soul just to be safe and secure. I just read before I came on that they're now putting ankle monitors on certain people in certain states. They're putting ankle monitors on people who have COVID-19. MashaAllah, you going to give up your freedom? Because that's where this stuff leads to. As I told you guys before. And all of the pharmaceutical companies right now are vying with each other, got their scientists out in the field trying to develop, what is going to be the cure for this. Right? So that they can patent it and manufacture it and distribute it so they can become billionaires. Like somebody gonna make money off of this. Somebody's making money off of this. Make no mistake. Follow the money. You want to know what's going on? Follow the money. Johnson & Johnson has now proclaimed that, they're ready to back any scientist who finds the cure for COVID-19 so they can mass distribute it, mass produce it. Of course, they want to patent it because now they own it. It's theirs. All of these pharmaceutical companies, this is big business, man. This is big business. Yeah, but this is something that you guys already know or you don't even want to hear about. It's not important to you. All you want to do is wear masks and stay home. Wallahi, I went to the store this morning and everybody got on face masks. And I'm saying to myself, well, damn, I'm glad you guys finally give a damn about your life. Meanwhile, you smoke weed, you drink, your liver jacked up, your lungs jacked up, you're using all types of drugs, you having unprotected sex. No other time do you give a damn about your life. Now all of a sudden everybody come outside with face masks on. This has to be a joke. This has to be a sick joke. I am waiting for the day that this stuff is just over. I don't want to sound insensitive during this time, man, but wallah al-azim, it's a joke. You gotta be kidding me, man. This has to be like a sick joke, man. You got people walking around with face masks on, like literally almost everybody outside with face masks on. And it's like, damn, y'all finally care about your life? You finally give a damn about your life? Meanwhile, you're having unprotected sex with complete strangers. You're drinking alcohol. You're destroying your liver. Then at the end of your life, when your liver is so shriveled up, you can't even filter what is being put into your body because your liver is so jacked up because you're so many years of drinking alcohol. Then at that point, do you value your body? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you good kidneys. He gave you, he gave you good liver. He gave you all of that. That was fine. And then you destroy that because you want to party, you want to enjoy. Wallah al-azim, I went to go order some food, order some breakfast like last week. And I went to go pick it up from a particular restaurant. And they were trying to get rid of their alcohol. So the lady is like, you want to buy some alcohol? I said, I don't drink. She was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I said, nah, I'm Muslim. I don't drink. Like, I'm high off life. I'm good. I never thought being sober could ever be so happy. I never thought that it could be so enjoyable. You know what I mean? To just function in life sober, see the world for what it is, see people for who they are. I never thought, never in a million years could you have ever told me that, walking through life sober could be so, so intoxicating. Right. Nah, I'm good. I'm high off life. I'm good. I'm living my best life. I don't need drugs and alcohol. I'm cool. I'm happy already. I don't need drugs and alcohol to take that away or to numb me to it. I'm okay. But the point that I'm making, man, subhanAllah, is that, people finally care about their lives. Like, nobody wants to catch COVID-19, but you okay catching herpes, you okay catching AIDS, you okay destroying your liver, you okay destroying your lungs, you okay destroying all of that. But now you walking around with a mask on your face because you don't want to catch COVID-19. Like, this has to be a joke, man. This has to be a joke. Now you give a damn about your life? This is what it took for people to start valuing their lives, valuing their health. This is what it took. And I'm glad that people, are valuing their lives. But I mean, there's so many other things, Like, there's so many other things that, that your life is so much at risk because you're engaging in. COVID-19 is probably the least of your worries. If you have an unprotected sex, you need not to worry about COVID-19. If you eating pork, right? You putting pork into your body, you need not worry about COVID-19 because you probably got something else. I mean, it's just, this is just from, how I see the world. I'm just kind of giving you guys a window. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of giving you guys a window into my life and how I see the world. It's just, I'm just walking through the store, watching people with the face mask on. And I'm just like, what in the hell? What is going on? And the thing that it teaches us is that in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of fear, we trust our government. In the middle of fear, we trust our government. Now everybody looking at CNN. Since when has CNN become, a credible, news outlet? Please tell me. Please tell me, when did CNN become credible? Reliable? Where are you guys getting your information from? The same people who told you that 9/11 was done by Muslims and then turn around and go attack Saddam Hussein? These are the same people that you put in so much trust in that when people are afraid, people are in fear, they will trust their government. They will trust anything that will help them to alleviate or to remove their fear. Nah, I'd rather be in fear and see the world for what it is than to try to remove my fear and go and believe in something that I know is a complete lie. I'm sorry. You guys can have it. You want to believe what CNN tells you. You want to believe what any of these news outlets tell you. I don't believe any of them, period. I sit back and I trust that God will expose what is truly happening. I trust that God will, even because he always does. And every single time that he does, we run right back to our government and put our trust right back into our government. After 9/11, like 2-3 years, when information started coming out and we started to really see it for what it really was, how foolish you felt. If you were not a Muslim at that time, how foolish did you feel when you were blaming Muslims and shaming Muslims? Some people still right now, celebrating 9/11 and, still believe that Muslims was behind that. Muslims had nothing to do with that. That was your government. That was your government. Muslims had nothing to do with that. And just at the beginning, China, somebody ate some, bats in China and like this. You really believe that? You really believe that this is the end result of somebody eating a bat? Like, people in China have been eating animals all of their lives. Now all of a sudden they eat a bad batch of bats. And now all of a sudden we got this. Come on, man. You guys are free to believe whatever you want to believe. I'm telling you that as a Muslim, we have an obligation to search for the truth. and not to just accept what is being put out there, especially by people who we know are known liars. Known liars. And I mean, if that's what I didn't intend, I didn't intend on going there, but sometimes it just, it's just, but this stuff is just laughable, man. All you got to do is just sit back and wait. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yakshifu su. Allah will expose the evil. He always does. All you got to do is just sit back. Sit back and just wait and watch. Watch for the conflicting narrations, the conflicting, because when man gives you the narration, there's always going to be some flaw in it. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنِ. Don't you ponder and reflect on the Quran? لو كان من عند غير الله لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا. If this Quran had been from anyone other than God, meaning from any human being, if this Quran had been from anyone other than God, you would have found much contradiction in it. That means that anything that man introduces, any narrative that man introduces to the world, there will always be some conflicting statements, something along the line where you will find a flaw in it. The only book on the face of this earth right now that is flawless, that is infallible, is the Quran. There is no other book that has no human flaw in it. Every book that was written by a human being has a flaw in it. The Quran, obviously from God, directly has no flaw, not one mistake in it. So that tells us that anything that man does, You'll be able to find a flaw in it. All you got to do is sit back and wait and watch. Sit back, wait, and watch. Let the information keep pouring out. Keep, documents. Keep, tabs on previous information. And you'll always find the conflict. You'll always find the conflicting narrations. You understand? The Prophet ﷺ mentioned to us that the shaitan, the devil, he takes one truth and he mixes it with 1,000 lies. 99 lies and one truth. So there might be some truth. I do think coronavirus, it is a virus, where it was manufactured, how it came into existence, and, what is happening as a result of it now. How is it being, ignited? How is it being, triggered, or whatever, all of that stuff. These are the lies, the 99 lies. And, all you have to do is wait. Pay attention to the information as it emerges. And you'll be able to follow, and then, of course, you follow the money. Who benefits the most from this situation? Who benefits the most from this situation? Who benefits the most? Somebody's benefiting, right? They just took X amount of trillions of dollars and they only giving you $1,200. And believe it or not, that $1,200 is blood money for all of the people that have died from this. That's blood money. Better believe it. Bush did the same thing. If you remember back in after 9/11, when Bush got reelected, he gave out a stimulus package. It was like $800 or whatever. That's what me and you got. That's what me and you got. The big corporations and companies, they got millions. You understand? They got billions. You got $800, $850 if my memory serves me correctly. But that money, this $1,200, if it actually makes into your bank account, that's blood money for all the people that just died from this. Hush money, so you can still trust in your government. Make no mistake about that. So I hate to ruin your afternoon, but I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah keep us firm on our religion. Brothers and sisters, stop flip-flopping with your deen, man. And out to our younger brothers and sisters, man, let me just appeal to our youth real quick. Please stop with the TikTok videos, man. Come on, man. I get it. You at home, you having fun with it. It's all good, man. But do you realize the power that much of our youth with these social media sites, do you realize how powerful, your message could be if you actually started to promote Islam? If you actually started to promote Islam, how powerful your message would be at this time. This is a time for us to give dawah. This is a time when even non-Muslims are looking for some type of guidance. This is a time when people, if you think Muslims are shaken in their faith, what do you think about people who really don't have any faith? What do you think about people who, I'm Christian because I was born and raised Christian, not because I actually believe in the doctrine of Christianity? This is a time to give dawah. This is a time for Muslims to put out information about our religion that appeals to that emptiness that many people are experiencing. Take advantage of that. So our youth, I'm really looking forward to some, social media, info that is put out there, some content that is put out there that promotes our religion, that invites people to our religion, that invites people to Islam, that invites people to God on a clear path. La iwaja fi, no ambiguity, no crookedness therein. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. Jazakumullahu khairan. I'll reiterate the hadith one more time. Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Oh Allah, changer of the hearts, make my heart firm on your religion. Make my heart firm on your religion. No matter what circumstance, no matter what situation I find myself in, that I stay grounded on my path. I stay grounded on my path. I don't flip-flop. I don't go to the right. I don't go to the left. I don't bend with the wind. As the Prophet ﷺ said, atba' kulli na'iq, as Ibn Mas'ud said, you follow whatever the way the wind blows, that's which way you go. If everybody is doing this, then that's what I'm doing. If everybody is doing that, then that's what I'm doing. Nah, that's not the type of person we need. That's not the type of person a true believer is. We walk our path no matter what. Whether it's rain, sleep, or snow, it doesn't matter. We walk our path. If everybody choose to disbelieve and go in that particular direction, then that's good for you. I'm going this way. I'm going this way. And the only one that can grant us that type of steadfastness is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You guys have been great. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallama tasliman kathira. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. They're still on.